preventing people from dying of hunger if you're selling food. So what problem are you solving? Is that what you want to talk about here? Welcome. Thank you for coming. There's an attendance sheet, if you please fill it so that, thank you so much. So every business is solving a problem. So if we've agreed on that. Okay, so there's this example I used there is a model answer. It says, this is a recycle business. And the person says, uncollected waste is a huge problem in developing world. So over XYZ billion people in the world struggles to dispose of their waste. These wastes end up in communities, they block drains, leading to flooding, pollution, and diseases like malaria and cholera. Boba, Oshu State in Gabon, is a state of XYZ million people. Zando is the state capital, generates 50,000 tons of waste daily, of which about 50% are plastics and other material. According to the World Bank Development Series, it's called Series Knowledge Paper. Okay, so the World Bank will developed a paper called Zago Waste, published in 2010. Plastic consumption grew from 0.8 billion to 1.2 by this year. This means that the amount of waste plastic will grow commensurate to the rate of consumption. So this person recycles plastic. So he's trying to prove that there's so many people. He started talking about the number of people. There are so many people in the world. There are so many people in the states. And he said they generate waste and 20% of them is plastic. So he's saying that as the population of the world increases, the number of plastic that will be in our drains will increase. And this is the problem he's trying to solve. He's recycling plastic. So you can see the sequence of thought. He first used data. So this is like a model answer. And what did he say? This is fact, data. This is fact, data. This is fact. Everything here, he used facts to explain why his business makes sense. So data, facts. Someone that reads it to be like, okay, wow. So this person is solving a real big problem. Basically, that's what we're trying to do there. So the fact that there's fact, and it's quoted fact, and then there's a good reason for your business. So it might not be as sophisticated as this, but I tell you, even if you're selling for only, or if your business is just targeting only people in Ikeja local government, if you bring this kind of fact to say this is 20, let's say you are cooking for only children because you are saying children go to school hungry. So you say every family has 4 children and all of them are in public schools, and then each of them go to school hungry. So you are providing this kind of food for them that will make their mothers get to work early, or So you are putting facts and data, and you are supporting your business basically. So that's the key thing that is on this slide. So for your problem solved, you have to say why you're solving the problem and how you're solving the problem. It is very catchy if you use enough facts and data to be able to solve it. Are you with me, ma'am? Okay, so there's another point that says development stage. Basically what this one is here. So talk about the stage where your business is. There are different stages. You see it: infancy, idea stage, have you started. So it's just for you to click. So there's nothing to write there. It's just to say my business has started, is an idea, is an infant. So basically that's what you pick around there under the development stage. So the next thing is the SDG. Has anybody heard of SDG? Sustainable Development Goal. Okay, good. So basically it's something that's started by the UN, and there are about 17 of them. So each business usually falls to different angles. So for instance, my own business falls to, I think maybe 6, 7, and 8. I can't remember. I can't really see clearly. But some of them is about education. Some of them is about equality of rights, good work for all, different parts of the economy, the SDG. So for you to just determine which your business falls in, and you just say goal 8 or goal 9 or goal 7 or goal 14, depending. This one is about water. This one is about pollution and different parts. So depends on where your business falls in, and then you just select the SDG. So those ones are just about selecting where your business. There's nothing to do there. Now this one talks about addressable markets. So market potential, addressable markets. That's another part of the form. So addressable market. So this is total addressable. It's also called the available market. As a term, it's typically used to reference the revenue opportunity available for a product or a service. So if you click at this diagram, this total available markets. So you can see the big circle. It says the total market that you can serve. Then the second one says how many can you reach, and then your target market. So example, so you didn't introduce your business. Can you just tell me your business? I can use it as an example. Your name and then what business.
Okay, good morning. My name is Tolulope. I sell underwears.
Oh, okay. All right, great. So Tolulope sells underwears. So this is the total available market is, you probably can reach everybody in Lagos. Since you're selling online, I mean, you can reach everybody in Nigeria, right? So total available market is 180 million people in Nigeria. But your addressable market, realistically, how many can you really reach? Let's just say Lagos. I don't want to stress myself, right? So 17 million. But who is your target market? But don't forget, only women wear underwear, except to sell men underwear. So if you're selling underwear for women as well, so what percentage of that 180 million are women is what you are thinking about. So the total addressable market is like your greatest potential. But because your market is niche, you have to find a percentage. If it's for children, you have to find a percentage, that kind of a thing. So basically, that's what the addressable market talks about. Then it talks about market potential here also. That's the continuation of that market potential. The next one is the revenue model. How do you intend to generate revenue, or how do you currently generate revenue? And that's why this grant is not for an NGO. If you are not making money, you can't apply. It has to be a business that has to make money. So most times in your business, there are several streams of income. For instance, I was talking to a lady, she's an hairdresser, and what she does is she makes, I think maybe it's Oreo or something. So she makes a kind of cream, and then the people that touch their hair from her, they buy the cream. And so let's say she makes the cream for 6,000 naira, but she sells it at 5,000 for people that we set her. So she's not recognizing the manufacture and sales of that cream as a source of income. She's just saying, people, because they're making it for me, I'll sell it at the show. So she needed to realize that if she wasn't selling for those people, if she makes it for 5,000, she has to sell it for more to make money from it. So basically what I'm trying to say is that in your business, there are several sources of income. They could be sales. In fact, the idea is to find different sources of income in your business. There's some that you are neglecting. There's some that if you pay attention to them, you can actually increase them. So that's what I'm trying to say. So what are the sources of income? How do you generate revenue? So what are the sources of revenue for your business? What value have you offered? So breakdown of this question says, what are the sources of revenue for your business? What are your value offering? Like, what are you offering? What value are you adding, and what are you offering? Then what is the price of this value offering, and who will be paying for the value? I want to say this because of what you just said. When we started, I introduced the kind of businesses that can apply for TEF, and one of the things they wrote is value-adding trading companies cannot apply. In my mind, I've been trying to define what value-adding means, but at least I understand the trading part. So meaning that if you're buying stuff from Dubai and you're selling, not that you can apply in my view, but you need to reinvent your business model in a way that it will be relevant to the grant. So if anybody is in trading, you need to think about it in such a way that, for instance, she manufactures shoes. So assuming she was selling shoes before, or assuming at the point where she started, she used to take it to some people to make. So she can reinvent her business model to say, I want to manufacture it myself, which is what she does now. So that's what I'm trying to say to anybody that is trading here. You need to kind of that's the word, back integrate down the value chain to see how you can reinvent your business model, basically. So I needed to say that because I may just forget. So basically what you're trying to say is, how do you generate money? I buy this, I add value to it, and I sell it at the price, and I make money. And then also I make money from other ways in the business. So you want people to see, you want the grant givers to see how you really make money from your business. Okay, so this is marketing strategy. How do you intend, or how do you already market your products or services to your target market? So are you using social media, Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram, or do you have a website and you are using search engine optimization, or is just word of mouth? Or maybe you are partnering with larger organizations and you need to get your products to them. So depending on your business, but basically most marketing strategies are usually kind of cast in stone. So, but you need to think about the different ways where how you can market your business. So the next thing talks about competitors. Who are your competitors, or who are the benchmark organizations? So most times, the one key thing I like to say about competition is, okay, I want to give an example now. Assuming I want to manufacture a machine that can dry cassava. Now, that's my business. Now, I want to look at my competitors. Who do you think my competitors will be? I'm a manufacturer of a machine that can dry cassava to make dairy. Who do you think my competitors will be? The local farmers. They dry in the sun. Exactly. Those are your competitors. So my main competitors are not other manufacturing of machines. Yeah, they are my competitors, but what will stop these farmers from patronizing me is what they currently do. and that's the most important competitor. What is your customer doing right now other than using your product? So if you're bringing a new product to the market, you think about what are they doing now, because they need to stop doing that to patronize you. If they say no, we like the sun, then you cannot sell. So basically that's what I'm trying to point out here. So your competitors are what exactly your business. So here they say you should list at least the top 3 of your competitors. So you need to know who you examine, and this is what we've done. So you list 1, 2, or 3. It doesn't have to be known to them. You know your own competitor, they don't know your business. So if it's Mama Mufu that sells Ogi beside me, then that is your competitor. And if it's a big company, but no, that's why they put the word benchmark organization. So if I'm a microfinance bank, I'm not going to put GT Bank as my competitor because they are not really my benchmark. I would rather put Olive Tree Microfinance Bank that are on the same level as me. So that's why they say benchmark organizations. Okay? Differentiating factor. So here it's saying what differentiates your business from other existing businesses in your field. And that's key because those are the kind of things they are looking at. It says, and basically it's about your value proposition. What will make your customer choose you over your competitor? So I'm still manufacturing machines that dries Gary. Why will the farmer choose me over the sun, since the sun is my competitor now? Mine is cleaner, it's faster. So those are the differentiating factor. It saves time, it saves energy. It's more hygienic, exactly. It's cleaner. It saves time, it's more hygienic. You can scale it, so I can actually. So if I'm a farmer that buys the machine, I can now collate all the different farmers in the cooperative and tell them to come to me. So I'm making money also by collecting people's cassava, apart from my own particular cassava. So basically, it's what differentiates your businesses, the kind of things that you'll be looking at here. Okay, so another question here is your current milestone. Your current milestone, where are you at your business? So I think it's like an assumption that you had a plan. So you had a plan for a certain period, a year, 3 years, and you are reached a particular stage and they want to know it. So basically they just want to know if you are thinking about your business. So it's like, it means what have you achieved so far? That's your current milestone. So that means that when you started out in business, you had the plan that in 5 years or in 3 years or at the end of this year, I would have reached 1,000 customers. But right now, I've only reached 10. So some idea of where you are in your business is what have you achieved so far. Then the next question, which is a follow-up, says, what is your next milestone? So you're saying what's the next milestone and how long would you take to reach that next milestone? So this means how do you plan to achieve the next phase of your business? Okay, if take for instance your next stage is to set up so let's say you have a school, you have a crèche, and your current milestone is that you wanted to start out from your house and you receive children. So your next milestone is to rent a place and set up the place so that will be your new school. So you now say, okay, in 6 months, if I first start from my house, I make some money, then I add my own money to it, and then I go and rent a place. So your next milestone is what you want to do next and when you achieve that milestone. Okay, so this is the financial aspect. It's very tiny. So I think we should take a break. I want Temilade to increase the font so that we can see this. And this is where I'm going to invite Tomide to come and talk about financials. I know a bit of financials, but I believe if we have a chartered accountant in the house, then we should just give him the stage. So,
sorry,
yeah. Yes, please.
Are we getting this?
You can have it. It has a lot of my pictures, so if you don't mind seeing my face. But you can get it. Sure, we can.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Yeah. Please.
Yes, I assume I'm at the idea stage.
Yeah.
I've already started the business, but I already have the plan.
Okay.
Business plan.
Okay.
So how do I put all that into this?
You can. It's just where you are. So your current milestone is you're about to start. You have your business plan in place. You have spoken to so and so suppliers, but you have not started. Your next milestone will not be in 6 months. You should have achieved this. So everything, there is a way to answer everyone. It's just for you to think about most of the questions are personal. A few of them are linked to your business. Yeah. So we can just increase the font for the slide that talks about financials. I'm sorry? It's a camp, but it's online. So you have mentors that will work with you online for 3 months. Then after the 3 months to submit your business plan, and then you get the funds. So once you are selected, you are almost getting back. As long as you submit your business plan, then you are getting the funds.
Then what's the probability of entry?
I already started by saying that they are choosing 1,000 people across Africa. Right now, 80,000 people have applied, apart from people that have not started. So by the time I'm sure by the end of the month, exactly, by the end of the month, 100,000. But funny, I think this year is for 2 years, because like I said, the past 3 years, the total application will go to 65,000. In 3 years, right? In this case, maybe you have gotten the funds.
More people applying.
This year, they are even pushing the drive. They're going to do NYC and get people to apply. So I think they're trying to use a drive for the organization themselves. They are tough. I find out that when I look at a lot of applications, people don't just understand. So people don't just understand the process. So I just felt, and that's why I'm recording this, so that I can send to people that are not, so that they can see, oh, it's not tough at the end of the day. By the time you think about it, what you must do is like,
you need to think.
but you need to think about it. If you're able to link it. Then enthusiasm is something you have also been thinking about in the past. For instance, when I did it, I did it in 3 hours because it's not like I just started thinking about it. But if you're never thought in that direction,
I started now when I got to the
yes, exactly. Then if you've written your business plan in the past, then it's also easier. But it's not tough, just like thinking about it. Yeah, so here's the, I just wanted that to increase that. Like,
Okay. Good morning, ladies. My name is Tomide, and I'm an accountant, and my job actually is just to explain a couple of things, a couple of requirements that the template has made before you can apply. Basically what we're going to look at is the terminologies and how we can use those terminologies to answer those questions correctly for the purpose of filling out the template. And one of the things we are going to do is, well, I will ask, I mean, it's going to be interactive. We'll ask questions, we'll share ideas as we go over the items. Okay, maybe while she's trying to do that, can I know the kind of businesses you are in? The kind of businesses you are into, a brief introduction of yourself and the kind of business you do. We would like to start from this row.
My name is Elizabeth.
Fish farming, okay. You have a pond, okay. Catfish, okay. Okay, do you just farm and sell to people, or you farm and then you dry and then you sell the dried ones?
I do exercise, fingerlings, dried and sell it.
Okay.
Sell it.
As fresh fish. Okay. Thank you very much. Madam?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Josie, and I make footwear.
You make footwear, okay. Children, adults?
No, just male and female.
Male and female adults. Okay.
My name is Dolope. I sell underwears. Mostly to females, but I sometimes do not males.
Okay, but no children, just
No
adults.
children, just
Okay,
adults.
male and female. Okay. Madam? Yes.
I just have so many ideas.
Yes. Madam? Sorry? Okay. Fashion designing. Children, adults, female. Basically female. Okay. Good morning. You are a caterer. Good. So you basically do you do what's it called? Pastries? But just food? Pounded yam, rice, anything food. That's good. That's good. So you're a processor in a way. Madam? Oh, me, okay.
I'm an accountant.
Oh, that's nice.
I run e-commerce business.
You run an e-commerce business. Okay. E-commerce business, like trading?
Trading. Online. All sorts.
Okay, all sorts. Okay, it's like you have a platform where people buy and sell. Okay, that's good. That's good.
I'm an hairstylist.
You are a hairstylist. Oh, that's good. Okay. Children, female. Do you do male barbing? Okay. Madam?
My name is Olushola Okel. I'm into interior design and fashion design. I make ventures and I'm quite about to launch women and children and clothing brands.
Oh, clothing brands also. Okay, you're going into clothing also. Okay, that's good.
My name is Patience. I'm into buildings and kids items.
Okay. You do you actually package them? Do you, like Valentine is coming, you do all this stuff? Okay, Christmas, hampers.
Tell me your budget.
Okay. 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 Madam?
My name is Shari. I'm into catering and rental.
Rentals and catering. That's good. That's good. That's good. Rentals, that's furniture rentals, chair for parties. Okay. Nice to know the type of businesses we are all in. And just before we start, I would like us to understand that no matter the type of business you are doing, you first of all invest some money into that business, isn't it? No matter the type of business. And while the business is running, there will be some expenses you will incur at some point in time. You will definitely incur expenses. And for the purpose of this application, they have asked some questions. If you look at this invested cash, that's total amount of cash invested in the startup till date. So for whatever type of business, at some point in time, maybe when you wanted to start the business, you had some savings. Like someone said, she has ideas. Right now, all the ideas are forming in her mind. She's setting aside some money. And at the time those ideas will want to come to fruition, she will now take some money and invest in the business. Buy things, buy assets, buy stock, and all that stuff. So your invested cash, they want to know at the beginning of that business, how much have you invested into the business? So for whatever reason, for whatever type of business you are doing, you will think back. My husband gave me 50,000. I saved up to 70,000. My husband's sister gave me 10,000. My mom gave me 5,000. Add up all those things, and that will make up your invested cash. Then your monthly expenses. Like I said, no matter what, any business you run, you must spend some money. Even if it's online, at some point in time, you'll probably be paying for domain servicing and all that. You'll buy threads, you'll buy food items, you'll buy raw items, you'll buy fish feeds, you'll buy even the fish itself, you'll buy their feeds, you'll pay for salaries and all that. So these are all your expenses. So they want you to actually list out all the expenses that you have incurred in your business. We will look at classification of expenses later, but for the purpose of this application, this is what they are talking about. All the expenses you do on a monthly basis. And you know, businesses run on a daily basis. In fact, some businesses run on a momentary basis. That's like an e-commerce platform. It runs on an hourly basis. You know, people buy, they sell, and all that. But at the end of the month, they want to know how much have you incurred in servicing this business. Then your lifetime budget. How much revenue has your startup generated since inception? Now, this you know, when you start the business, a lot of people just say, oh, okay, I'm into I make food. A customer comes and pays you 500 naira. He eats and he goes. Now that 500 naira is actually your revenue. But that 500 naira, there are some costs that have gone into it, to the point where when you think, oh, I made 500 naira on this, I just got 500 naira. In actuality, you have made, maybe let's say, your profit on that particular sale is probably, let's put that, maybe 200 or 150, because you know you have bought certain things, you have put certain things together to make up that 500 naira. So what they're saying is revenue. How much so far have you gotten from this? In fact, in most cases, this is what in some businesses, this is your sales. This is actually your sales revenue. How much did you sell this? Now, break-even volume. This can be a bit tricky. Now, what number of units, products, will you have to produce and then sell to generate enough money to cover for all fixed for all fixed costs to the business? Business expenses that are constant irrespective of business activities. What they are just saying here is your fixed cost is business expenses that are constant irrespective of your business activities. Like I said, your monthly expenses, when we come to classification of expenses, you are going to divide your expenses into fixed and direct. Some people call it variable, some people call it direct, some people call it impactful. Impactful means as you are, running the business, that cost is being incurred. So it has a direct impact on your business. So now they want to know, for the purpose of whether your business is even a profitable business. That's why they're asking this. They are asking you this detail: break-even volume. What number of units or products will you have to produce and then sell to generate enough money to cover all fixed costs to the business? Now, I would like us to sit down and think deeply, because one of the things we've actually discussed here is that we can actually help you do cost classification or expense classification. Now, for the purpose of any business, you have what is called fixed costs. Whether you are selling or not, you are incurring certain costs. So for each type of business you have now, I want you to think and come up with at least 2 items of fixed costs. I will ask us, and then I will see if that understanding is well taken. Look at your business. Are you a hairdresser? Are you a fashion designer? Are you a furniture maker? Are you a do you sell drinks? Do you have a bar? Do you sell children's clothes? You sell fish? What are those costs that depend? If you sell 5,000 fish today and you sell maybe 2,000 fish tomorrow, that cost is still there. It doesn't change. It's not because you sold 2,000 you will now incur. Like now, let me just give you an example. If today you sell, let's use the madam with the fish pond. Now, if you sell maybe 5,000 fingerlings, that's after processing and everything. If you sell 2,000, now you said for the fingerlings, you actually process them into dried pieces, isn't it? Now, you would have bought, I don't know, maybe you buy fuel for the gas, for the heating, isn't it? Now, that gas, if you process 2,000, it will spend so much time on the fire, isn't it? That means you use more gas. But if you process, let's say 500, it will spend less time heating up. So then you use less gas. You can see how impactful that is on the cost. So that cost of gas that you have used to process 5,000 is going to be more than the cost of gas you have used to process 500. So that is not fixed cost. But now, let's look at the salary of, maybe you have a staff who helps you to do the, what's it called, to do the processing. Maybe, you know, you are the one who oversees that, and then your staff gets all the fingerlings and processes it. At the point in time when she processes 5,000 and she processes 500, at the end of the month, her salary is what? 2,000 naira. You just say, oh, thank you very much, take 2,000 naira. Now you can actually say, oh, you know, we made good sales today, I mean this month, you know what, take 1,000. That 1,000 is not her salary. That is usually called an incentive. That one is a discussion for another time. But the salary you have agreed to pay her at the end of the month is what? 2,000. So whether she processes 5,000 on Monday and she processes 500 on Tuesday, she processes 300 on Wednesday, at the end of the month her salary is what? 5,000 naira, and that is fixed. So that is the way you will classify your costs. So regardless of the type of business you are doing, you now need to sit down and think, what are those costs that are fixed? Whether I sell 1,000 or if I make 10 chairs now and I want to sell those chairs, or I buy chairs and I want to rent, the salary of those boys who are packing those chairs for rentals is fixed, regardless of whether you pack 50 dozen, 10 dozen, 2 dozens. You guys, take, this is your weekly wages, take this. Then you can now give them a tip for maybe extra work and all that, but their salary is fixed. Now, for the purpose of rentals, if for any reason there is a cost that is going to be impactful on that kind of business, it is usually going to be for somebody who, maybe you employ somebody who washes those chairs, who takes care of those chairs for the purpose of, you know, keeping them clean, the clothes and everything. Now that person comes, and maybe on a low sale day, maybe on a low volume day, maybe you rented about 500 chairs. He will come, he will just wash all the 500. Madam, I washed 500 today. Okay, 500. How much did we agree you wash for a chair? Madam, 50 naira. Okay, so 50 naira times 500. That is, you can see how impactful. Now, the day he washes 1,000, that cost is going to change, because it is impactful, it is direct, it's not fixed. So that is the way you should look at the business, your business. Look at the type of business you are doing, and then consider that at the back of your mind, that okay, which one is fixed, which one is direct. So that's what they're asking here. Now, for the purpose of break-even volume, they want to know what number of units or products will you have to produce and then sell. Two things that they are: produce and sell, that will generate enough money to